But Ciampa came back on Monday's Raw, answering an impromptu open challenge from The Miz, who said that he was going to accept Rollins' challenge before Balor attacked Rollins. So Balor, I did not know that was supposed to be a babyface turn for him, but if Miz was supposed to accept that challenge in storyline, then Balor turned babyface for me with that move, because that would have been terrible. Not that the match would have been bad, but Miz just means nothing. He hasn't won since December. This was no exception. Ciampa comes out to a very good response, and not only coming out to a good pop, he came out to his old NXT music. Came out to No One Will Survive. He hasn't had that song since early 2022, when he was still in NXT. He changed it right before he made the move to the main roster. And he's had a couple different themes since then, but I don't know if it's a one-week thing. Now I know Gargano came back with his old CFO music, and they gave him the new song by Def Rebel. The thing is that Ciampa already had new music made, so I'm not sure why he would go back to the old song, and then if he was going to get a new Def Rebel song, that'd be stupid. Maybe they just did it for the pop. I mean, that's also possible. I don't know. Either way, a great showing here from Ciampa. He's in phenomenal shape. He beat Miz decisively. It seems like he'll be a babyface going forward, which has got to mean good sign for a potential DOI reunion. So your thoughts on the return of Ciampa after a near 9-month hiatus and his good showing and win over The Miz?
No, I thought it was a good comeback. Like you said, I think him finishing up that little story with The Miz, like Miz thought he was on his side, beats him up. Miz, like you said, Miz challenging for the belt is just laughable at this point. I mean, he's literally been so poorly booked that it's funny if he actually got a title shot. Even my dad, who's like pretty casual at best, like he watches, but like he's like, they just beat The Miz every week, huh? I'm like, yep. Like, and he's not even a big Miz guy, but like anyone can see, like anything he's involved with lately has been absolutely terrible. So,
every single week,
him facing Rollins, no, thank you.
No, that would have been terrible. They already had a match a couple of weeks ago that Rollins won. There was no reason to run it back. So, like you mentioned, they kind of finished up the Ciampa Miz thing, because the last time we saw Ciampa on the show, he was allies with The Miz. And I liked how they kind of threw that in there during the match. If you saw it, he threw Miz back in the ring to Ciampa, and then he looked at the commentators and said, he never called me one time. So kind of explaining like that's why he was pissed at Miz. They were friends, or seemingly friends, 9 months ago. And we were all hoping they would break them up. I mean, they were together for a couple of months for no fucking reason. Like, they had no reason being partners. I know Ciampa said when we saw him and interviewed him last summer, he was like, oh, I enjoy it. Miz is a good person to learn from. Yeah, I'm sure behind the scenes, but on screen, Miz is like death at this point. So I'm glad they're no longer aligned. Do you want to see a DIY reunion in the tag team ranks? I mean, it seems like tag team wrestling is on the ascent again in WWE. You know, we have Alpha Academy and Viking Raiders feuding right now, not lighting the world on fire, but, you know, it's a side story in that division. You have Indus Sher on the ascent. Owens and Zayn are just fucking killing it right now. Imperium are great. And on SmackDown, not every team is great, but you got a couple of really good teams with the Profits. You have Pretty Deadly as the new number one contenders to the tag team titles on SmackDown next week. A lot of good teams. I think DIY entering those ranks could maybe even be the team down the road to dethrone Owens and Zayn as tag team champions.
No, I think that'd be good. I think, like you said, I don't see Gargano and Ciampa really getting a singles run right now, so putting them in a tag team division that seems to be on the ups, I mean, wouldn't hate it.